Robert Kiyosaki, the author of the best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, has turned his book into a self-help empire consisting of television shows, board games, and investment seminars. There are certain things you don't know about this financial guru, and that is what we will be revealing to you in today's video. So stay tuned. Bankruptcy. It comes as quite a surprise to discover that Kiyosaki, commonly referred to as a financial guru, could ever be declared bankrupt. Robert Kiyosaki never had any proof of the wealth he allegedly accumulated before he published Rich Dad Poor Dad in 1997. However, everything was exposed when a legal dispute arose between him and his longtime sponsor, the Learning Annex, simply because they failed to pay the proper royalties on his seminar. After Learning Annex successfully obtained a judgment against Rich Global LLC for almost $24 million, the company ultimately decided to file for bankruptcy in 2012. Although declaring bankruptcy was done to protect Kiyosaki's estimated $80 million fortune from judgment debts, it is viewed in financial circles as a wise business decision. Sadly, this was not the first time Robert Kiyosaki had experienced or claimed bankruptcy. Suppose you have read any of Robert's books. In that case, you know that in the 1970s, he founded a company that manufactured nylon wallets with Velcro closure. His business failed, forcing him into bankruptcy, largely due to foreign competition driving him out of business. At that point, he decided to collaborate in those in direct competition with him, resulting in his company regaining some of its former vitality, but ultimately leading to its demise. After that, Robert's life continued to be affected by the bankruptcy, as evidenced by what happened to the company Rich Global LLC in 2012. As you can see, bankruptcy is nothing new for him. This may not be the last time he files for it, but this has damaged his reputation as a financial guru and exposed him as a fraud. Never did he put his words into practice. Even though his advice to own a business, to invest in cash flow, etc. may sound wise, it's unfortunate that he or his company failed to maintain sound financial standing. Regardless of how minor you might think it is, he has never put what he preaches into practice. He only made a living by selling his story and convincing others to spend a lot of money listening to it. It was unknown to them that the story was just mere fiction. He rose to fame as a result of the sound advice that he offered in his book Rich Dad Poor Dad, which he claimed to have acquired throughout his life. He discussed what he has learned throughout his life and how those experiences have helped him achieve great success in real estate and other ventures. But all this was a lie. Do you want to know more real estate investment tips? Then all you have to do is click on the subscribe button. Let's move on. One of the criticisms most frequently against the Rich Dad series is the assertion that nobody has been able to locate any proof of Rich Dad. According to Mr. Kiyosaki's claims in the book, Rich Dad is one of the wealthiest men on Hawaii Island and the proud owner of some of the most desirable real estate on Waikiki Beach. On the other hand, researchers from various magazines have looked through the property investment records of Hawaii. Still, they have not been able to locate such a person. Don't be shocked yet. In fact, Mr. Kiyosaki has related multiple distinct tales regarding the location of Rich Dad. At some point, he asserted that Rich Dad had died. On another location, he claimed Rich Dad's relatives have not been located. Another time, he allegedly admitted that Rich Dad is a composed character based on several of his advisors, including Dr. Buckminster Fuller, the father of his best friend, the original Rich Dad, and many others. However, in an interview, Robert Kiyosaki gave a response that sounded entirely sincere. Is Harry Potter real? Why don't you let Rich Dad fade into obscurity like Harry Potter? So does he exist or does he not? While reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki made the statement on multiple occasions that this is a true story about my two dads, and the genre of the book was non-fiction when it was first published. The fact that the person portrayed in Rich Dad Poor Dad is just a fictional character and not a real human casts serious doubts on the author's credibility. He also gets the most criticism for his real estate investing advice. In his anecdotes, he provides examples that, in the opinion of most real estate investors, are just way too good to be true. Even in the foreclosure market, one will not find houses that are at least 50% discount. The typical discount ranges from 20 to 30%, with occasional savings of up to 40% off the market price. However, if you believe Mr. Kiyosaki was able to purchase a home at 72% discount from the current market price, he implies that you are also capable of doing so. but these deals are once in a lifetime according to other real estate investors. In response to a question about these inaccuracies, Mr. Kiyosaki explained that the examples provide a mere examples. They are not meant to be taken literally. Even Mr. Kiyosaki has admitted that the Rich Dad books are more of a motivational tool than a source of useful financial advice. The issue is that an individual who purchases the book is likely to believe that the examples provided ought to be taken as unquestionable truths, but they should not be interpreted in that manner at all. He exploited the people who followed him. Another major warning sign is the fact that he preyed on his followers. This is the height of hypocrisy for sure. If you're trying to sell yourself as a model for anything, such as values, the creation of wealth, business, or even how you coach the soccer team your kids play on, you shouldn't use your followers and believers. Instead, you should empower them. Robert Kiyosaki did the honorable thing of writing and publishing his book and selling copies. After that, he tackled on another class, which was honorable since it was free. But later on, he began to exploit the people who followed him. It was revealed in a video that went viral that Robert Kiyosaki takes a significant amount of money from the people who follow him under the guise of a seminar that costs $495 per person for a 3-day workshop. At this workshop, they mainly try to pressure you into paying $45,000 on additional training related to real estate. What one of the hidden cameras caught, which was shocking, was that they openly informed the people attending the workshop to raise their credit card limit to $100,000. Are you freaking kidding me? They provided scripts for people to use when contacting their credit card companies, and they gave attendees time during the seminar to call their credit card companies and request the $100,000 increase. You might be wondering why people were asked to increase their credit limit to $100,000 in the first place. The seminar's presenter asserts in the video that you cannot make money off real estate using your funds and must charge renovations and other expenses to your credit card. This is why the card's $100,000 limit should be raised. But the reality is that they are trying to sell you real estate training classes that cost $45,000, and they want to put enough pressure so that you make an impulsive purchase of that on your credit card. The Get Rich Quick seminar is a drawn-out pitch for an investment opportunity. The same presenter discussed how he made $32 million from a mobile home park in a rural area in Saskatchewan during the $495 workshop that takes place over 3 days. CBC Marketplace investigated his claims of having millions of dollars in real estate and discovered that his claims were completely false, that the land was undeveloped, and that there was no mobile home park, no $32 million. However, charging for advice is unethical, provided the fees are fair and the transaction is conducted in good faith. But there's no way that $45,000 is an acceptable price for any finance course. Surprisingly, Kiyosaki isn't the only one who does this. There are literally hundreds of people who engage in hypocritical behavior regarding finances. Spending thousands of dollars on courses taught by possibly dishonest lecturers is unnecessary. Simply work, save, pay off debt, and invest. Done. Even though Robert Kiyosaki is exposed as a con artist, and his book Rich Dad Poor Dad is shown to be a work of fiction, this does not imply that the financial tenets he teaches in his book are incorrect. However, pay careful attention to determine which one appears to be reasonably correct. He suggests to purchase assets rather than liabilities, for instance, is excellent. He encourages people to spend their money responsibly and be fully aware of their purchases. To get people to invest in real estate, he uses large upsales as a marketing strategy, which I completely oppose. There are a variety of platforms available that you can use with a minimum investment of just $500 if you want to start investing in real estate. Therefore, when you read his book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, for yourself, you should be able to recognize when people are being hypocritical or trying to sell you something that you do not require. There you have it, Robert Kiyosaki exposed. Watch our next videos on the channel.